from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Nexa, 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 next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
From GBN, this is Network News for Thursday, June 15, 2023. In the headlines, planned protest for Friday in response to non-culpable ruling in Kimon Bell's death. The Ricardo Edgar verdict for non-capital murder expected next Tuesday. Senator Adrian Thomas attends meeting in Chile to address hunger and malnutrition. Grenada recognizes Elder Abuse Awareness Month. Also in the broadcast, Regional East St. Lucians taking advantage of visa-free travel to Canada, urged to abide by the law to prevent the reinstatement of visa restrictions. Internationally, Colombia to legalize recreational use of marijuana. Plus, in the sports news, West Indies make it 2 out of 2 in preparation for ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Qualifier 2023. This is the news.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening, I'm Kenroy. Baptiste. Reminiscent of the days after the death of Kimon Bell, another protest calling for justice for the young man will be held on Friday outside the Coast Guard base in True Blue, St. George. Friday's protest follows a ruling handed down at the end of the coroner's inquest on Tuesday, which declared the boating incident that claimed the life of the 22-year-old Woburn resident in April last year an accident. Investigations conducted with assistance from the regional security system have determined that the boat captain and the 2 crew members involved are not culpable. This means that the officers will not be criminally charged for murder or manslaughter in connection with Kimon Bell's death. However, the family can pursue a civil claim against the government of Grenada. A flyer has been circulating on social media encouraging support for the protest on Friday, which is scheduled to commence at 9 a.m. at the Coast Guard base in True Blue. For the 36-year-old Venezuelan national accused of the execution-style shooting of Chanel Blackman, also known as Shizzle, in March 2018, will know his fate next Tuesday. His non-capital murder trial, which commenced at the St. George's No. 1 High Court early this month, was expected to wrap up on Thursday. However, the matter has been adjourned following approximately 3 hours of closing remarks to the jurors by the prosecution and defense teams. Female High Court Judge, Madam Justice Paula Guilford, is expected to sum up the 5-year-old case when it resumes before her next Tuesday, following which she will instruct the jury on its role to determine a verdict. The murder accused, Ricardo Edgar, who is being represented by attorney-at-law Jerry Edwin, was arrested and charged in 2020, 2 years after Blackman's killing. Blackman was shot to death in an area close to where he lived with his female companion in Belmont St. George. Edgar, who is currently on remand at His Majesty's prisons, continues to maintain his innocence. If convicted of non-capital murder, he could face a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. Other news, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell has cited the need for adequately trained procurement officers within the public service. He was at the time highlighting the role and functioning of the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, noting that its function goes beyond beautification. The Prime Minister said the process of training has begun with the aim of having procurement officers attached to specific projects.
So we recognize a number of things have to happen for us to be able to implement, and I'll give an example. A lot of the projects are infrastructure or depend on some component of infrastructure, but you have no procurement officers. You have no project managers, right? And that's because we have not invested in our people. We have not trained them, and obviously if you don't see the importance of implementing, then you don't see the need for training project managers or procurement officers. And so those are some of the things that we've begun to work on, because that's one of the challenges we find with the implementation. We don't have officers who understand the procurement requirements of CDB, of the World Bank, of the IMF, or even where people give you grant funding.
The Prime Minister said the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation necessitates people's involvement on a voluntary basis. Of the 3 components of that ministry, he said implementation requires accountability.
Implementation is a big one, because the challenge we've had really is just that. Part of it is a lack of will as in leadership to implement. Part of it is a culture, and part of it is structural, in that I talked about the fact that many of the rules that govern the public service predate independence and really is not suited for a modern public service. And so the ability to implement means we have to be prepared to hold ourselves accountable. We can't say it's okay to get funding for a project and then simply not implement the project and lose the funding, because the country loses credibility. Donors, lenders simply would not want to have anything to do with you again, because you're asking for help or you're asking for loans, you get the loans, and then you don't implement the project. Right.
The Prime Minister, who is also the Minister for Infrastructure and Physical Development, says there must be peer review.
As well as to keep us honest. We have to have peer review. If, as the Minister of Infrastructure, I said we're going to have a project done in 6 months, MIT is going to come in at the halfway stage and say, Prime Minister, you said this was going to be ready in 6 months, 3 months has passed, and you haven't even scratched the surface. You're not going to make it in 3 months, so let me help you. And we have to be prepared to take that help, because at the end of the day, it is for the success of the government. Now, and that requires interministerial cooperation. You don't need to own failure. There's no need to fight over territory if all you're going to get is failure. So if you need help, accept that you need help. If you are not meeting your own performance criteria, accept that you need help. And MIT is designed to come in and help and show you up.
Now, the desk of the elderly in the Ministry of Social Development, in collaboration with its social partners, observed World Elderly Abuse Awareness Day today. A march through the town of Grenville today helped to sensitize Grenadians on the issue of elderly abuse. More in this report.
Community members, students, officials in the Ministry of Social Development, the desk of the elderly and other stakeholders carried placards advocating for an end to abuse of the elderly as they march in the streets of Grenville today, joining the world in recognizing World Elderly Abuse Awareness Day, June 15th. They also used the occasion to advocate for more love and care for elderly citizens. Lydia Thomas, social worker at the desk of the elderly, says the international theme this year is closing the circle.
And we're looking at the theme this year, The theme this year is Closing the Circle, and that's addressing gender-based violence in older age policy, law, evidence-based responses. We're going through Grenville, around Grenville, and we're ending at the car park, where we will have speeches on elder abuse and prevention of elder abuse. We'll have the Minister for Social Services, Social Development speaking, and we'll also have our PS and other stakeholders and NGOs speaking against elder abuse.
According to the chairperson of the Geriatric Networking Group, Gloria Philip Thomas, statistics show that by the year 2025, the world will be more heavily populated with elderly people than young. She said what is needed at this time is to educate the future generation on how to properly care for older people.
Sometimes we don't understand abuse, but abuse can be direct or indirectly. Sometimes people deliberately abuse others. Sometimes we don't know that we're abusing because we don't know how to look after others. What we need in Grenada, and I say this without any reservation or any apologies, we need to have good, compassionate caregivers. And I don't mean caregivers alone that work in homes, but I think we also have to educate those of us who are children and grandchildren looking and taking care of elders, how to do it and how to do it professionally, how to do it with love and compassion, respect and dignity. I think one of the things today should be able to do in Grenada as a yearly event is to make the whole nation be aware that aging is something, as Ms. Thomas says, that's going to happen to all of us if we're fortunate, and we would all want to be treated with dignity, respect, love.
Minister with responsibility for social development, Gloria Thomas, who was part of the event, reiterated that her ministry is dedicated to the care and the safety of the elderly. The older folks are the ones who laid the foundation for those who are here, and as such, they need to be cared for, said Thomas. She explained that her ministry's next course of action is to change legislation that will aid in the better care of the elderly.
We have training ongoing. Training is part of the operations of the ministry, and right now we are into legislation. We're doing legislation to protect the elderly. We're going a bit further to regularize the offerings that are given in elderly homes and at institutions. They play a very, very important part in society, and we should treasure them. They would have given a lot of years to this country, sometimes in their own way, raising their children if they didn't hold a job, or even they hold a job, making a valuable contribution to the development of this country. And I think this is very, very important for us to recognize and to appreciate.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
When we return on Network News, Senator Adrian Thomas attends meeting in Chile to address hunger and malnutrition. Stay with us.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Apply for a Home Easy Loan today for a chance to win a cash prize. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Terms and conditions apply.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Hubbard's is once again innovating the way you shop with its new online store, providing 24-hour shopping convenience. You can shop now for appliances, hardware, houseware, building material, and more. Free delivery island-wide. Start shopping now at hubbardshardware.gd. Safe, convenient, reliable.
Notice is hereby given that the 94th Annual General Meeting of Shareholders of the Grenada Building and Loan Association will be held virtually on Zoom as well as at the Presbyterian Church, Granitang Road, St. George, on Wednesday, June 21st, 2023, commencing at 4:30 p.m. Shareholders are required to RSVP their attendance by contacting the association's office at telephone number 440-2108 or WhatsApp 459-2103 or email info@grenadabla.com. Virtual meeting details will be made available prior to the meeting. Copies of the Director's Report and financial statements may be obtained by members upon application to the Secretary or Manager at the office of the Association or via email.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wiring accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grand Anse, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Seriously, there's a better way to beat the heat. Get an air conditioning unit at Quartz, starting at only $1,699. Inverter air conditioning units from $1,899. Plus, free installation with purchase. Get it today with no cash and pay over time. Protect your purchase with Super Shield extended warranty for up to 4 years. There's a better way to beat the heat. Quartz, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Big money, money, money. $3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks.
How?
Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true. Money, money, money.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Level
of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Apply for a Home Easy Loan today for a chance to win a cash prize. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Terms and conditions apply.
Network News, welcome back. Minister of State with responsibility for agricultural lands, fisheries and cooperatives, Senator Adrian Thomas, joined his Latin American and Caribbean counterparts of the 10th Forum of the Parliamentary Front Against Hunger in Santiago, Chile on Wednesday. As we can tell you, the Parliamentary Forum is an ongoing initiative in partnership with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, which seeks to eradicate hunger, malnutrition, and food insecurity in Latin America and the Caribbean. Deliberations at the one-day meeting focused on the alarming cost of healthy diets in Latin America and the Caribbean. According to data from the FAO, Latin America and the Caribbean face marked challenges to eradicate hunger and malnutrition. The Food and Agriculture Organization maintains that a solid political commitment, accompanied by adequate technical assistance for the development of public policies, will be able to achieve lasting changes over time. Through assistance from the European Union, the Grenada Produce Chemist Laboratory has received new equipment that will enhance its laboratory testing capacity in the fishing and agriculture sectors. We have the rest of the details in this report.
As part of the 11th European Development Fund, EDF, a sanitary and phytosanitary measures project, the Produce Chemist Laboratory is now equipped with new tools valued at approximately US $26,000. The equipment handed over during a short ceremony at the laboratory included a microwave digestion oven, a benchtop multi-parameter pH conductivity meter, and a field pH conductivity and dissolved oxygen meter. Following the handover, laboratory staff were engaged in a training session. The Produce Chemist Laboratory operates under the Ministry of Agriculture, and in accepting the equipment, Permanent Secretary Aaron Francois expressed satisfaction with the efforts to strengthen the fisheries sector's capabilities.
The fisheries sector is a very, very important subsector for us. Over the years, we have been growing that sector, and certainly with the high level of export trade that is involved in the fisheries sector, the assistance in food safety is extremely important for us. And so we want to take the opportunity to thank the European Union in particular for making the funding available to finance this project, and our partner ICA.
The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA, was the executing agency for the 11th EDF project. Greg Rollins, IICA's representative in the Eastern Caribbean states, acknowledged the equipment's potential to support the project's objective of enhancing the national regulatory and industry food safety systems in the fishing and agriculture sectors.
Equipment that has been purchased for the laboratory under this technical assistance activity will contribute to strengthening the national food safety testing capacity to ensure that fisheries products fulfill high standards with respect to hygiene and consumer safety. Ultimately, this will contribute to Grenada meeting the SPS requirements for regional and international trade. IICA is therefore very pleased that we have reached this milestone under the project.
The Regional Caribbean Fisheries Mechanism, CRFM, was responsible for the implementation of the project. As a regional fisheries body, the CRFM focuses on enhancing coordination, capacity building, and strengthening the region's ability to promote the marketing and trade of fish and fish products. Dr. Sandra Grant serves as the Deputy Executive Director of the CRFM.
We welcome the project's activities to strengthen the Grenada Produce Chemist Laboratory by providing technical assistance in the areas of training, guidance, and of course the equipment. And today we are happy to have this laboratory equipment, which will be used for high temperature and pressure acid digestion of food, water, and environmental samples by the microwave, which is essential for environmental monitoring and residue testing for the fisheries sector.
The Produce Chemist Laboratory was one of 2 laboratories in the region chosen to receive technical assistance. The support for the first project encompasses staff training in fish quality control and export, as well as guidance on the use of equipment. The 11th EDS Sanitary and Phytosanitary Measures Project seeks to increase compliance by CARIFORUM states with international sanitary and psychosanitary measures, SPS, standards, and procedures to increase international and regional market access. Christelina John, GBN News.
The story to report: students and teachers of the Food and Nutrition Department of MacDonald College are now better equipped with the right tools to conduct the practical component of the subject, thanks to a donation by the Sandals Foundation today. More in this report.
That was the male students in the Food and Nutrition Department of the MacDonald College thanking Sandals Foundation for giving much-needed equipment to the school to aid in further learning for this practical subject. The Food and Nutrition Department was gifted with 1 refrigerator, 1 washing machine, 2 cookers, 1 microwave, 1 mixer, and 1 blender. Judith Best, Vice Principal and teacher of the Food and Nutrition Department, spoke of the challenges the students encountered when conducting the practical component of their class. She said they are grateful for the new items.
Because laundry, I will take it home when we have lots of towels and tablecloths to wash. Now I don't have to do that anymore. It's going to be happening right here. Initially, when we started here, we were using second-hand, probably third-hand too, from the primary schools where the program was taken out. So it was a challenge here because every year we have 30 plus students to do the SBA project, the SBA component of the subject. And I tell you, the ovens are slow and the challenge continued. It is going to go a long way in making the subject easier to manage with the amount of students that we normally get doing that subject. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Dillian Forrester, Public Relations Manager within Sandals, educated the students on the Sandals Foundation and its mission to prepare the future workforce for the culinary and hospitality sector.
The Sandals Foundation focuses on educational causes, environmental awareness, and community development throughout the entire Caribbean region. As you can imagine, because we are resorts, we try to empower the future of hospitality. So food and beverage is one of our largest departments, and of course, we expect that throughout the years, our communities, our local labor force is of great importance, and we want to further empower our local labor force so that we can continue spearheading our local regional brand.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Meet more of Grenada's future leaders. Green Street Pre-Primary School is at the end of the GBN ISOL lens.
Tonight, we feature some of our nation's children as they showcase their future careers of choice, at least for now. Children from the Green Street Primary School celebrated Career Day today. Among their chosen careers are doctors, nurses, police officers, mechanics, and much more. Future is in great hands. Share with us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Network News, we'll be right back.
Get ready for the biggest Calypso clash of all time as Grenada takes on Trinidad at the 17th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert. Saturday, July 8th, Grenada Trade Center from 7:30 p.m. You'll get from your our partners, Hubbard's, Grenada Paper Products, Granville Credit Union, Biden and Miners, Gittins Healthcare, Grenada Broadcasting Network, Guardian General, Spiceside Imaging Center, Western Union, The Agriculture Shop, Clear Vision Eye Center, Springs Food Mart, Dollar Savers Auto Part, Rise and Shine Supermarket, Classic Lighting, Victory Bar, Budget Marine, Dean's Mattress, Grenada Trade Center, Creative Do It Best, Grenada Distillers Limited, Catwheels Stationery Service, Blue Bubbles, PA, Rentals and Event Supplies Company, Dana's Tasty Food, and City Inn. Please be seated by 7 p.m. because this one will be epic.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more. With Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium.
Hello again. Color-coded bins are being placed in strategic locations across the country as part of a waste separation drive spearheaded by the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority. Christina John tells us more in this report.
Based on assessments done, Grenada was deemed most ready as it relates to preparedness for the implementation of waste recycling. The project is funded by the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS, under the Rimlet Initiative, which is to reduce marine waste. Mona Julian, Communications Manager at the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, said they are hoping for a smooth transition and compliance with this waste separation initiative.
We are implementing the communications component, the public awareness component, so that there is good compliance. We're coordinating with those who would be servicing the units so that they understand. We have done some training in that direction so that they understand what is required in terms of the separation, as we have different locations for the recycling and processing of the various waste streams that are being collected through the color-coded bin system. It's important that every citizen of this country buy into what it is we are trying to promote and implement at this time, and that is a culture of waste separation.
Street cleaners will be responsible for managing the waste separation units, but Julian stated that bins are not yet positioned in some towns.
In use so far in the town of Grenville, right? We are currently working with placement. We should see some in the town of St. George, hopefully before the end of this week, right? On the beaches, we are also hoping to have them on the beaches before the weekend, some of them on the beaches, and these are GTA administered beaches. And there are some hotspots too that have been identified for the placement of those. We have deployed some into Carriacou also, and we are at the stage where we're identifying the locations to have them positioned in Carriacou. Eventually, they would be positioned in all of the towns in Grenada. We are not deploying yet in the towns of Guelph, Victoria, and Sautez, and Hillsborough, because the contracts have expired. The contracts for those companies have expired. The three-year contracts are expired, and we're now opening up for new contracts. So once the new contracts are in place, we would work with the staff of those companies who would be successful.
Julian explained what should be placed in the different bins.
Would be for the collection of plastic waste, mainly PET bottles and beverage containers, right? So water bottles and the soft drink containers that come in plastics. Then we have the yellow and green. Green obviously would be for organic food waste, and that would be things like your chicken, bits of chicken and fish, and food scraps that you would have emerging from your stacking and so on. And the yellow would be for the other recyclable waste types. So we also want to tackle things like the cans, right, the Tetra Pak boxes. And
Christina John, GBN News.
Coming up in the sports news, West Indies make it 2 out of 2 in preparation for ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Qualifier 2023. See you in a while.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Granville, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Big money, money, money. $3,000 every week for 3 months. What? Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks. How? Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true. Money, money, money.
Hello sporting fans, the countdown is on towards Grenada's hosting of the 2023 edition of the Windward Island School Games from July 22 to 29. This will be the first hosting of the Games since 2019 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Coordinator of Sports Colin Peters says Grenada is looking forward to hosting the Games and he's optimistic about the outcome.
That we are here this year for 2023 and we are looking forward to host the Windward Island School Games right here in Grenada from July 22nd to July 29th. We have had the initial meetings with the coordinators of the Windward Islands. We know it's St. Vincent, Dominica, St. Lucia, and Grenada. The Windward Islands School Games dated back to over 40 years. We are now in planning with our local LOC meeting yesterday so that we could just give everyone the role and responsibility and expectation for the games.
All right, so the games will feature competition in basketball, track and field, football, volleyball, and netball. Peters expects the games to be very competitive.
We are still working. That's one of our sports we were able to have in the tournament for this year. We are looking forward to putting some more work into it for the new sporting season, so that we can get better teams. Because volleyball is important. All the teams must be up there if you want to retain the championship. So I must say I'm happy with so far with the talent and that we have seen, and some of the coaches that like Mr. Nanan Buffett that requested come back and assist with the preparation. This is wonderful. So we need all the support for some of the teams that, especially that didn't have a secondary school competition in the sense to help with that talent and selection process.
The story, Rothman Powell slammed a majestic ton as West Indies beat the United Arab Emirates by 114 runs in their second warm-up match in preparation for the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Qualifier 2023. The hard-hitting middle-order Jamaican batsman was in devastating form, hammering out 105 from 55 balls before he was caught by Mohammed off the bowling of Sharma. Nicholas Pooran hit a well-put-together 74 as the two-time champions reached 374 for 9. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for the men in maroon. Opener Brandon King went early with the score on 28. 32 runs later, Brooks was back in the pavilion with the score on 50. Myers departed in the 11th over with the team wobbling on 67 for 3. Johnson Charles chipped in with 30 runs. The United Arab Emirates were bowled out for 260. Yannick Carrier returned figures of 4 for 48 to lead West Indies to a 114-run victory. Plans are well underway for the hosting of the 51st edition of the Carifta Games next year. Grenada won the bid against Trinidad and Tobago 16 votes to 4 to host the 2024 Games. This will be the third time that Grenada will host the Youth Athletics Championship. Grenada last hosted the competition in 2016. The Carifta Games will be held from March 30 to April 1, 2024. Kwame Hippolyte is the Public Relations Officer of the Grenada Athletic Association.
We are looking at the point of finalizing budgets, start putting plans and structures in place, and prioritizing going into the next few months. For example, one of the critical areas would be the marketing and promotion. And so that aspect, because the majority of the work falls prior to the games, that's one of the areas where priority is being placed. But however, all other areas of the games have started their plans and preparations, from the ceremonies to the idea of how the games will be opened, the medal ceremonies. That aspect of the games, they've started looking at it.
The need for volunteers is a critical component to the success of the Carifta Games.
Volunteers. I know there will be there'll be a call out for volunteers to assist with the games, but that aspect they are putting in the operational procedures for as it relates to volunteers for the games. And we're talking about volunteers as well as some of the liaison officers. In relation to protocol, they also have started putting some structure in place, looking for protocol officers, looking at the expectations of the games. And so what we find happening is that each aspect of the games have started some form of planning. Started the planning process towards the games.
That's the sports news for now. External Affairs Minister Alva Baptiste has urged St. Lucians who are looking to take advantage of the visa-free travel to Canada to abide by that country's laws to avoid the reinstatement of visa restrictions. We have more in this report.
St. Lucia is one of 5 Caribbean countries whose eligible citizens may now benefit from visa-free travel to Canada under its Electronic Travel Authorization Program, or ETA. The ETA is a digital travel document that most visa-exempt travelers need to travel to or transit through Canada by air. St. Lucians who have either held a Canadian visa in the last 10 years or currently hold a valid United States non-immigrant visa can apply for the ETA for up to 6 months. External Affairs Minister Alva Baptiste has welcomed the move, attributing this a breakthrough to the hard work of St. Lucian professionals and successive administrations.
This time around, we had a focus meeting where the heads of CARICOM met with the Prime Minister of Canada in the Bahamas. And the visa issue was of central importance to them. And there were some candid exchanges between the leaders of the region and the Prime Minister of Canada, and he promised to address it very seriously and to see what could be done. And obviously we see today that particular decision by Canada.
In September 2012, St. Lucia was removed from the list of exempted nations for visa-free travel to Canada for issuing unreliable travel documents. Visa requirements were also imposed due to the excessively high number of asylum seekers. The partial visa waiver is the first step to the total removal of restrictions, notes the External Affairs Minister. He says the St. Lucian government will continue to have further dialogue with the Canadian government. He has implored St. Lucian travelers to the North American territory to conduct themselves wisely as the government seeks to achieve this goal. In a statement announcing the visa-free travel, the Canadian government stated that the move will help grow Canada's economy by facilitating more travel, tourism, and international business. It will also strengthen Canada's relationships with the countries added to its ETA program while keeping Canadians safe. For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Motley is taking the Bridgetown initiative to the world as she continues to lobby for $1 billion deal for climate financing to secure the future of Barbados and other vulnerable small island developing states. She will be on a 2-week overseas mission which takes her to London, Switzerland, Ghana, and Paris. Shane Seeley is more.
We are fighting through the Bridgetown initiative to be able to have a new deal with respect to how we can access money to be able to build in a more resilient way. Because for every dollar we spend now, we save $7 in spending if we were hit and damaged by a climate crisis.
That's the objective outlined by Prime Minister Motley as she embarks on a 2-week mission tomorrow. The Bridgetown initiative as a response to the climate crisis tops the agenda. She describes it as a grueling roadmap.
We go to London first tomorrow, and what I'm doing here with Mr. Timmermans, we will have the opportunity to do with all of the British High Commissioners and ambassadors globally who have been brought together to London, and they've invited me to speak to them, particularly on the Bridgetown initiative and our ability to be able to get this new financing deal, not just for Barbados, but for the world, whether it is increasing the capital of World Bank and other regional development banks so that they can lend us at affordable rates, to put in water pipes, to do the coastal preservation, to ensure that our aquifers are not the only thing we rely on, particularly when the saline activity becomes too high.
Prime Minister Motley also reports a number of countries are now paying close attention to natural disaster clauses under the Bridgetown initiative.
Further afield, Colombia is one step away from legalizing the recreational use of marijuana. It would become the second Latin American country to do so after Uruguay. Al Jazeera reports.
When Colombia legalized medical marijuana in 2016, entrepreneurs like Mauricio Pies Chacon thought it would be a lucrative business to get into. But red tape, political opposition, and no clear path for international trade has meant he hasn't sold a single bud. He's had to let go most of his workers, but a new bill in Congress might finally open a legal market for his product.
We were allowed to produce, we're allowed to grow, we're allowed to do everything, but then we don't have anybody to sell it to. The internal market, the adult use, is gonna save a lot of companies like ours. It's time we say, hey, let's not leave this up to the cartels. Let's do it with the country. We've put too many deaths on the road for this. We've been on the front line putting all the dead people. It's time we can regulate it.
The arrival of Gustavo Petro, Colombia's first leftist president, has opened the door to the legalization of marijuana for recreational use.
Para ustedes.
Petro has been vocal about ending what he calls the failed war against drugs, especially in countries like Colombia, a war that has killed more than 1 million people in Latin America without denting the power of drug trafficking mafias. Sponsors of the bill say regulating the marijuana market will improve the life of many rural Colombians who have long cultivated the plant for lack of legal profitable alternatives.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. This is the Grenada Broadcasting Network. A reminder of the headlines. Planned protest for Friday in response to non-culpable ruling in Kimon Bell's death. The Ricardo Edgar verdict for non-capital murder expected next Tuesday. Senator Adrian Thomas attends meeting in Chile to address hunger and malnutrition. Grenada recognizes Elder Abuse Awareness Month. Also in the broadcast regionally, St. Lucians taking advantage of visa-free travel to Canada urged to abide by the law to prevent the reinstatement of visa restrictions. Internationally, Colombia to legalize recreational use of marijuana. Plus in the sports news, West Indies make it 2 out of 2 in preparation for ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Qualifier 2023. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. That's all from us in the GBN newsroom. Thank you for having chosen the broadcast. We'll see you next time. Take care. Good night.